Hello children, hope all of you are fine. So today we are going to read literature class 6 chapter 10 Fly like an eagle. As you know, eagle flies very high. In the similar manner, if we want to succeed in our life, we also need to fly very high. So before beginning, let us do this crossword puzzle given in your book. Areas demarcated for swimmers, lanes, not sink, float. A piece of clothing worn by women while swimming, swimsuit. Any of the series of repeated hand movements while swimming, stroke. Covering the length of the swimming pool, lap. Protective eyewear, goggles. Someone who saves people from drowning, lifeguard. Clothes worn by men while swimming, trunks. A place where people swim, pool. So let us begin with this chapter. As you can see, the topic is Fly Like an Eagle, and it is written by Elizabeth Van Steenwyk. So she is the author of this Fly Like an Eagle story, and there were other stories also in her this book. As you can see, this was the cover page of this book, and there were other 7 short stories, and those stories were about the girls who were competing in 7 different games or sports, you can say, like tennis, figure skating, basketball, rodeo competition, and diving. So in this story, basically we will deal with diving story of Angie. Okay, and this story talks about the courage, the dedications, and the challenges the characters faces in this story. So in this story we are basically more uh, concentrating on swimming. Okay, this is one part of Fly Like an Eagle. Okay, and as you all know, every sports required a lot of hard work and intense training. Then only we can overcome our fears, and then easily we can succeed in whatever sports we want to. So in this story we are going to read about Angie and how she is meeting her particular challenge, the fear. Okay, and how she will just go through what all things happens to her, what all challenges are in front of her, and how at last she overcomes all her fear and just succeeds and does what she needed to do. So let's begin. I have never been this high off the ground in all my life, Angie thought as she climbed the ladder to the 10-meter diving platform. I won't be able to do it. I can't possibly jump 10 meters down to the water. The first dive is frightening up from up here. Coach Hansen's voice came to her through the microphone and loudspeaker. His voice echoed through the dark, empty stadium. He was seated in his favorite spot near the pool. So, in the beginning only it is told that she was very frightened to dive from this 10-meter high platform. It was a very big, the height was too much for her. She has never done it earlier and she was afraid, okay, whether she'll be able to do it or not. So Coach Hansen is the teacher of Angie, and he's just saying that for the first time everything is frightening. Definitely you are doing it for the first time, you will be feared, that's very normal. And this is how he was just encouraging her, you can say. You can do it, Angie, I know you can dive from there. No, I can't do it, Angie thought, and there is no way you are going to make me do this dive. She stood well back from the edge of the platform and not wanting to look down. Yet there was a strong feeling within her that drew her closer to the edge for a short, quick look at the cool blue water waiting to swallow her. So the encouragement part by the coach is too much that yes, you can do it. It's definitely it would be done if you are just give it a try. But still, Angie is in her mind thinking that I won't be able to do it. It's so tough, and the height, as you can see, it's too much. It's all going inside her head. Yes, so she was very back from the platform, edge of the platform, and she was not even looking down. But still, a feeling was there. Like if you're afraid to do something, there is one little corner part of your heart that says that why not try once. The same thing was happening with her. She was also having a look at that water, that pool, that would if she would have jumped, that that whole water would have swallowed her. Come on, Angie, time's wasting and you know you are going to jump. Angie shook her arms and legs again as if she wanted to be free of them. Then she pulled and tugged at her suit so hard that it seems to stretch down to her thighs. Think your dive through, Angie, Coach Hansen said. Do it in your mind. So the encouragement part is still there. Yes, you can do it. You know that you are going to jump. So the nervousness part is still there in Angel's mind. Okay, so she's just shaking her hands and legs so that the whole nervousness part is gone, in order to loosen up her body. And then coach is saying, before doing it, think it in your mind. Yes, before we are trying to speak something, what we do, we frame those sentences in our mind, then we speak. No, in the similar manner, if you are going to dive, why not imagine the dive in your mind? I have done a front dive in the layout position a million times before on the 3-meter platform. I know how to do it from down below, but this is different, Angie thought. So in three earlier previously, what she used to do, she had already done this diving part from 3-meter platform. Okay, children, and she has done the front dive in a layout position. Okay, like facing the water only, she has just dived inside the water, the body was straight, but it was only 3-meter platform. But now the height has been increased and it is like 10-meter. So it's a totally different task, isn't it? Don't be ashamed to say you are afraid, Coach Hansen said. Fear is something we all have. So, here, children, this is very true. We should never be afraid to tell about what we are like, what is the reason why we are fearing. Every one of us fear, children. You should not think that, oh, I won't be able to say this speech in this stage, or I cannot do this thing. No, no, no. When you were starting or when you were beginning your life, you started writing with ABCD, isn't it? And that was very difficult for you at that moment, but now when you think about it, it is so easy. Now you can frame sentences, you can talk, you can have a conversation. The part has been simplified with time, and it is easy for you to do it now. So when you do something for the very first time, definitely you are afraid about it. Okay, and don't and you admit it. Okay, I'm afraid, but then don't lose up your courage, just give it a try. So now coach is suggesting the reason. Okay, what were the reason that you could be afraid of? So the coach Hansen said, is it the fear of landing wrong? I don't think so. You have done that before from 3-meter platform and from the edge of the pool when you first began to dive. What is it then? Fear of getting the wind knocked out of you? So the possible assumptions which were given by Coach Hansen was that maybe you are afraid of the height, but that's not true. When you begin like diving, you were diving from the edge of the pool. Then you grew up and you just do like you have dived from 3-meter platform. So there is nothing regarding height. Earlier, if you can do, why not today? Then the second reason given was maybe you are feared of getting wind knocked out of you. Maybe you are like when you are getting inside the water, it will hit you so hard that you won't be able to breathe. It can be the reason. So Angie looked towards him. She shook her head. No. So she was very clear about her idea ki no, this is not the reason. Of course not, you are not afraid of that either. Then what is it? The coach asked. I think I know, it's the fear of the unknown. Is that what is bothering you? So the coach is again asking, are you afraid of something unknown, that she doesn't know the reason why she is feared. Okay children, like we also in our life, if we are doing something new for the very first time, some butterflies gets inside our stomach and we do not know what is to be done. Yes, and that fear is still there, like, can this be done by me, will I be able or not, what and so what not, like so many thinking, like so many things you think at that moment. So after hearing that, yes, definitely she was afraid and she was not knowing the reason why she was so much fearing. Okay, so definitely she nodded here and she walked back to the farthest edge of the platform. She wiped her hands on a towel. Of course, that's it, coach, she thought. Is that so hard to understand? I have never done this before, never felt the dive in my body going down from here. I can't dive from here. Your fear is normal, the coach's voice went on. It's not natural to want to dive from up there the first time. You need someone to know when you are ready to do something and you have never done before. I would not let you dive if you weren't ready. Confidence will come from the dive itself. You have learned that with each new one. So she definitely was afraid. Some coaches like, it's okay. Fear is very normal. Everyone gets afraid of some or the other thing in their life. You are not just the very first one. And whenever you are ready, you can just tell me. I'll be there with you. I'll help you out. But one thing remember, if you're not ready, do not dive. He was very clear with his words. Okay, and one more thing that you need to keep in mind, children, like, unless and until you do that task, no, confidence is never ever going to come inside you. So the same thing coach is saying, that confidence will come from the dive itself. Unless and until you dive from that platform, you are never going to learn it, isn't it? When she was diving from the edge of the platform, she was afraid at that moment also, but then once she did, she got the confidence. In the similar manner, when she dived from the 3-meter platform, she was afraid at that moment too, but then when she did it, she was confident. In the similar manner, if you are going to dive from the 10-meter platform, then only you will get the confidence. Okay, so Angie stood at the edge of the platform. She put her toes in space and waited. You may not believe it, but your body will know what to do once you are in the air. So coach is again giving his advice that we do not we think ourselves that we are not capable of something, like I will not be able to do, I am not that capable, uh, if I do something wrong and all. Children, just put these things aside in your mind and never think that. Always think yourself that you are the most capable one and you can attain anything in your life. So that's what coach Hansen is even advising Angie, that once you think in yourself that no, this is this possible by me or not, and all, so many negative comments and negative thoughts come in your mind, but then once you are going to do it, your body will help you out. Okay, Angie did not believe it, not for a second. She walked to the back of the platform, again dried her hands, then she turned, slowly took 2 steps towards the edge. Her mouth felt so dry, she knew she would have to swallow the whole pool to make it feel wet again. She pulled at her suit, shook her arms. So again, she's not believing coach. She's still afraid of all those things. And when you are afraid, or when you are having fear of something, definitely you feel more thirsty. So she thinks that she can swallow the whole pool, then only her mouth will be wet after that only. Look, Angie, the thing you want most right now is to get over with, right? Angie nodded. She couldn't speak. It will take you only 2 to 3 seconds to be down and out of the water. Don't think. Just do it. Angie stood there, shaking inside. So the coach is like, this is only the thing you needed to do, and only 2 to 3 seconds it is going to take. Just you have to go inside the water and come out of it. So why to think this much? Just go for it. Let's see what are the consequences. She was standing there and she was shaking. She was shivering from inside, afraid. So, what about all your plans for the championship and the Olympics? Coach Hansen asked. So, he's going to use the old trick on me, Angie thought. Throwing the Olympics at me like a trainer throws fish to seals, as if I didn't know what he was doing. So Coach Hansen is like saying about the championship, about the Olympics and all. If she would be taking part in it, and if she wants to take part, she has to dive from this platform. So definitely Angie is well aware of this fact that he is using this trick on her. Like how if we want to train our pet, what we do? We give bribe, no? We give some lalach, isn't it? Lalach to the pet, then only our pet is going to do that work. In the similar manner, coach is giving this bribe to Angie, this championship and Olympics part. She's well aware of this fact, but still she knows that all this thing is done for her only. She walked back on the platform and looked down the steps, longing to use them. Okay, I have had it, the coach said. His voice sounded cold and hard. Just walk down the step and go home if you can't do this dive. No, she thought. No, I won't. You're not going to make a quitter out of me. She edged closer. So, the next trick was that she was again going back and looking at the steps if she could just use the ladder and get back, okay, and not jump from that platform. So the coach got a little cold in his voice. Earlier he was using in a sweet manner, he was very sweet and encouraging manner, but now since she is not going and doing the part well, so his voice now went into a little harder way, and he was like, okay, you don't want to do, get back to your home, no need to do it, it's fine. But Angie was not a quitter. She never used to quit the things. Okay. So she thought that no, I will not quit. So she went close to the edge. That's better, the coach said softly. Just remember to keep your body tightly controlled. If you are limp, the water will tear you apart. Now think it through, Angie. You are just about ready. I know you are. So now coach has understood that yes, the girl is ready. My student is definitely ready. She can do it. She has even gathered all her courage inside her head. Definitely now she can do it. So all the advice and all he is giving to keep the body controlled, like if you are just loosen up your body and going inside it, the water will just break the bones. So all the advice was going at that moment. She turned to get the towel again. Then she thought, that's foolish. I keep drying my hands when I'm just going to get them wet in a second or two. So again and again she was going for the towel. So this time she realized that what's the use of taking the towel? I just have to go inside the water and I'll be getting wet only. So why to use the towel? That's when she knew she was going to jump. She had known it all along. But Coach Hansen had to remind her. There is that moment when you know it's going to happen. There is that moment when training takes over. That moment is now. Angie took a deep breath and pushed off, and her body rising into space. She spread her arms in the swan position and felt the air touch her body gently. For a lazy second, Angie hung like a bird she has seen turning cartwheels in the sky. Fly like an eagle, she told herself, fly. Then she felt her body begin to come down and her mind took total control. She brought her arms over her head and kept her body and legs straight as she entered the water, causing hardly a ripple. Angie stretched her dive downwards before she curved back to the surface. Can you see the explanation, children? The author has given such a beautiful way. She has tried to show the exact moment, what was happening, what was going inside the head of character, what she was thinking at that moment, everything. So at last she got the courage to jump, okay, to take the dive. And the way she explains, she spread her arms like in a swan position, and the air, she was feeling it, okay, in her body. And for a second, minute second, for like she thought herself to be a bird. She hung herself like a bird in the sky, and she is even encouraging herself that fly like an eagle, fly. And she took, her mind took over all control and everything. She went very straight inside the water, downward direction, and then she curved back to the surface. She came back to the surface. When she entered the water, a very small wave, very little wave was caused on the surface of water. Like when you throw stone, no, it creates a ripple in the water surface. So here very little ripple was caused when she jumped. "That wasn't bad, Angie," Coach Hansen said as she came out of the water. "But you can do better. Go back up and try it again." "Right," she said, and smiled. Her fear of diving from the platform was gone. So, this is how this story was. And basically, children, do remember one thing, that you need to realize in your life what is the importance of courage, the determination part, as well as you have to overcome the fear. Whatever fear you are having in your life, just overcome it. And one more thing that you can understand from from the story is, like if you want to accomplish anything, or if you want to succeed in life, or if you want to attain a goal in your life, okay, you need to trust your teachers or coaches or your family members. Here, since the story is dealing with two characters, Angie and Coach Hansen, a student teacher relationship is shown. Yes, so here it is basically telling us to trust our coaches and teachers. But in our life, children, we need to trust our family members, our parents, as well as our elders, those who are good ones, and are guiding you in every part of your life. I hope you all understood the chapter. Just go through the chapter once again. Definitely you are going to enjoy the way of writing. Okay, so let's see the next exercises part. Let's have a look. Page 135, you will find making connection. Let's see how many of you can answer. If you have understood well, definitely the answer would be correct one. So the first question asked is, Angie was nervous because she was diving from a 3-meter platform, 10-meter platform. Okay, she was diving from a 15. What do you think, children? Why she was nervous? From how much meter platform she was diving? Okay, very good. It would be 10-meter platform. Let's see question B. Coach Hansen told Angie to go home because he felt she would not be able to die. He knew she would not want to quit. He felt she did not need more practice. The coach was knowing that she would not want to quit at any moment, isn't it? Bit number C. Angie was able to dive because she managed to overcome her fear. She closed her eyes. Her coach forced her to do so. No, force never. So definitely the first one is the correct one. She managed to overcome her fear, isn't it? Let's move on to the next page. Theme. Definitely the theme here is overcoming the fear of unknown. Okay, whatever we think, we do not know what the fear is, but still we need to remember that unless and until we just give it a try for once, we can never overcome that fear. You need to have confidence. So first we are going to do the in-text question. These questions are available inside the chapter only. So the first one is, why did Angie shake her arms and legs and tug at her suit? So why was this happening? Definitely, children, she was very nervous, isn't it? and earlier she used to dive from 3-meter platform only. This height was never attained earlier, so as a result she was afraid. So as you can see this answer, Angie shook her arms and legs and tugged at her suit because she was nervous before diving into the water, and she was afraid as she has never dived from so high up before. The second question asks us, according to Coach Hansen, what would give Angie confidence? What do you think? What would give Angie confidence? Yes? So we already read in the story that unless and until she does that dive, she is not going to get that confidence. So the answer is, according to Coach Hansen, Angie would get confidence from the dive itself, isn't it? Let's move to the next question. What does the word longing means? The word longing here means a strong feeling of wanting to do something. His voice sounded cold and hard. Do you think the coach was angry with Angie? No, we cannot say he was angry actually. Uh, he was behaving in a strictly manner, children. He was not that angry. He was, uh, what we say, he wanted to persuade her that she could dive. Okay, so earlier he has used that so many ways. So she could have done. First he was encouraging her using good words, then he gave the bribe part, like he told about the Olympics plan, and later on when still he found no positive result, so this was the thing he did. He used her. He was little strict. So no, the coach wasn't angry with Angie. He was behaving strictly with her and actually in the process coaxing her to dive. Coaxing, gentle persuasion. Now we'll move on to reference to context. You can turn your pages and find these questions in page number 136. So here the first extract is, let us talk about what it is you are afraid of. Coach Hansen's voice went on. So what was the first thing that Coach Hansen suggested Angie was afraid of? Coach Hansen felt the first suggestion wasn't true because, okay, this answer is second number. Just so what was the first thing Coach Hansen suggested Angie was afraid of? So suggested that Angie was afraid from diving from that height. But that was not true actually, because she has done a lot of practice and she could dive very quite well, isn't it? She used to dive. So what did he suggest next as the reason? Suggested that she feared the unknown and was therefore reluctant to dive. Please take this screenshot here. Let's move to next question. The extract is, so he is going to use that old trick on me. Did you remember old trick, children? We read no right now. What was the trick? So yes, you are correct. The trick according to Angie was Coach Hansen inciting her to jump by reminding her about her plans for the Olympics. So why do you think Coach Hansen was using that old trick on Angie, and did it work? Coach Hansen was using the old trick because Angie was unable to bring herself to jump. She was not that confident. But still, even after saying and even after using that trick did not work on her. Number C, what did he ask? What did Angie compare that old trick with? That seals one, no? Angie compared the tricks to a trainer throwing fish to seal. Next extract, number 5. That wasn't bad, Angie, Coach Hansen said as she came out of the water. What was Coach Hansen commenting on? Coach Hansen was commenting on Angie's first dive from 10-meter platform. What was the tone in which the coach spoke? Right now he was encouraging. No, he was encouraging. So he spoke in an encouraging tone. Number C, what did he ask Angie to do next? So he asked Angie to try jumping again so she could better her dive. So here we have finished up with this video. Hope you all understood it. Thank you so much for watching the video.